moved to Vegas, didn't realize, again, led to go back home. Now, I don't like Vegas, but I was led to go back because I had to heal. And while I was in Vegas, that little girl inside of me was healed. We were integrated. And then I was also led there when I went there to get on social media. Now, I'm 59 years young. I don't like social media, but again, I'm led to get on social media, right? And so while I was there, I was led not to eat fast foods anymore, to get off meat. I mean, all this stuff was coming from within. It's just a process, you know. And the reason I was led to get on social media is because this build up my courage, or, you know, because I'm going to do public speaking, I want to do life coaching, all that stuff. So I want to see how people, you know, took my point of views. Well, this is how I ran into profit. And I will say, at that time in my life, I just was led to stop masturbating and smoking weed. Okay, when I was living in Vegas for the 17 months, I was high every day, all day. I'm gonna be honest. Okay,
Right.
living in Vegas. Okay, I was just led to stop smoking weed. I was just led to stop masturbating. And so with the weed, when I moved back to Georgia, because I visited in Vegas for 17 months, but then when Spirit led me to come back, it was time for me to come back. I had got 2 bad batches of marijuana, and the Spirit said, it's time to stop, Angel, you can't. And so I didn't. So when I met Prophet, he brought that up, and I received it. I mean, you know, he said what it was, and I didn't second guess it or nothing. But what happened was, I was led to call Prophet, and when I called, I reached out to him. I didn't have the money, and I'll be honest, I was prideful. And I said, well, I'll get the money, you know. And Danielle was like, well, Miss Brown, you know, if you don't have money, Prophet would know this. And I said, no, when I get the money, I'll call him, you know, me and my pride. And when I tell you, it was like maybe 5 months or 6 months I didn't call Prophet. Everything but the kitchen sink hit me. When I tell you, I was getting knocked, and the last straw was that I was nanny, and one of my clients, my last day of work, they kicked me out like I was a piece of trash. I can literally see the demon in this man. They kicked me out of his house. And I said, what in the world is going on? I heard in my spirit so clear, you didn't call the Prophet like I told you. Prophet can tell you, I sent that email and I was being honest. I was extremely transparent. Wasn't I, Prophet? I was extremely transparent.
Yeah, you were.
I said, look, I was being prideful. I'm sorry, you know, I apologize, you know. And so Prophet started working with me. And from that day, I can tell you that my life has changed for the better. I no longer feel like I'm weird. I no longer feel like I'm crazy. I meeting this man and going by what I was led to do, for him to pray with me, for him to teach me, for him to talk. I have someone that I can relate to, and I can share these things with. And he prayed over me, and instantly I lost that job. I got 3 job offers within a month. I mean, things just started working out for me. But then I read his book. And then what I quickly learned by reading his book, because, you know, you're raised in the church, you think about, wow, you know, you're serving God, and you just feel like you're invincible, like things can't happen to you. And I just never could understand at that time, because it was understand. I could never understand why these things kept happening, because they make you feel like you're invincible. You know, but reading his book, I'm like, now, wait a minute. Now, things are happening to him. Who am I? You know, this man is who he is. He's you know, casting out spirits, but he is being attacked too. So that gave me some normalcy, and then I started really understanding and overstanding why those things were happening to me. It was spiritual warfare. I said, wow. And so reading his book and him praying over me, and I'm gonna tell you now, I listen to Prophet. And at first I didn't have the cash, you know. Now Prophet can tell you, I fast I was led to fast the last 3 days of every month. I do that. And I also have a monthly prayer session with him, and he doesn't know, but we're going to start doing a mentorship. I'm led to do that. And yeah, so since I met him, everything has just opened up for me, but I'm still getting attacked, and I'm still yet learning. I want to share another. I was woke up because I get Social Security, and just one of the attacks I received was they're saying I owe them $17,000, and so I was woke up one rising, and my spirit said, "Go look at your paperwork. Go look at your paperwork." I hear like over and over in my spirit. So I wake up, and sometimes I'm reluctant. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get up. It's like 4 o'clock. I'm like, go look at what? You know, I kind of fight it, but then, you know, I'm learning just to go with it. So I go and look at this paperwork, and I go, and the first thing that's sitting up, it says overpayment 5/2021. It's the first thing I saw. So this right here got me out of what they were trying to say, because it was an overpayment in 2021, the same exact dates. But had I not been listening to that voice, again, I say I've learned by not listening, unfortunately. You know what I mean? And so when you learn, if it says go left and you go right, you know the next time is that to go left. You know, and so that's how I learned. And so that got me out of the 17K. You know, we have to watch what we say. I've learned, you know, we're dealing with him, and our words are extremely powerful. I was saying, you know, just casually, I want a new wardrobe. And just recently, when I went to Vegas to get my stuff, they done stole all my clothes. So I'm like, I don't want a new wardrobe like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? All my clothes, the wardrobe, sure, okay. You know, and I wanted to share this too, that I lost my job today, but I learned about it. Spirit led me to know that about a month ago. I got a strong feeling. I just knew it was going to happen, unfortunately. And what happened was, and I'm just sharing this because I want you to know that I'm still yet learning as well. It's not a perfect road, you know. We're still yet human. We have the human part of us, you know. And so I was working with this lady, and I was led not to go to the birthday party with the baby. And I went anyway. And ever since I went to that birthday party, everything was going down, 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 down. And her husband, I knew her husband never wanted me there. And so when I clean up nice. Okay, and so he started giving me compliments, and she started feeling envious, and that's one I feel like the reason why I'm out there. But it is what it is. I found out that she just created this big lie because I listened from within, but it's fine because I know that I'm covered, and I believe that the Most High God and Yahshua HaMashiach is my source. Okay, I was getting paid decent money. I was getting paid $1,250 a week. That's $5,000 a month. It is what it is. I don't chase money. You know, I attract it, and I believe that Spirit is my source. You know, and I want to say this one thing, Prophet, about the birthday song. My birthday's in December the 4th. I never liked my birthday. Like I said, I've gone through a lot of trauma. I'm the oldest of 3 children. My birthday December the 4th, and my sister December the 5th. We're 3 years and 1 day apart. Her birthday was always celebrated, and mine wasn't. Go figure. And so we always had to share it with Christmas, a holiday. So I was always just, you know, I was never celebrated, never had a birthday party, you know. And so there was a point where I was just literally cry. I mean, cry. You know, just sadness and not being celebrated on my birthday. But when I listened to your birthday video recently, I just realized that all the time that I'm feeling like I'm not being celebrated, that Yahshua HaMashiach and the Most High God was literally protecting me. And I feel like he was protecting me because I never got those curses over me by singing the birthday song, I never did one birthday with a candle match, not one. I'm 59 years young. And so sometimes I've learned too that things are not happening to us, they're happening for us. And so all those years, I never got that curse over me, you know. And so, yeah, that's my testimony. I don't know if they have any questions for me.
So let me ask you this now. I mean, I don't know if you want to share this or if you're comfortable with sharing this.
That's fine.
About because I remember it was like an accident that happened one time. I think when you were saying something about when you said because I think in the beginning I think you started off talking about it, but I think you end up transitioning to something else. But it was something about how I guess you was telling the Most High that you're married to him now or something. And you put a ring on that finger, and then I guess I think something happened.
Yeah, I had said that I was running for councilwoman around that time. They was preparing me for that. And I had put a ring on my marriage finger, and I put it on my finger, and I said, I'm married to you, you know, and my purpose. But then shortly after that is when I had the car accident.
So with that car accident, it wasn't that hand targeted or your finger or something, the one
Yeah,
that you.
yeah. The hand, I should have said that, huh, properly. The hand that I put the ringer on was a hair from amputation. They tried to rip that hand off. And it's called a hand degloving. And I don't have use of the hand anymore. That's why I couldn't go back into, um, typing and stuff, because I couldn't type anymore like I used to. I used to type like 65 words a minute with no error. But yeah, it was a hair from amputation. But there were people there. I mean, when I had the accident, there was a lady from Homeland Security right there. Bam. There was a tow truck driver. Bam. There was a hand specialist on call that night. He said he never worked that night. His name was Dr. Stuart Brown. I'll never forget his name. He was there. I mean, everybody was lined up, right? I had just was laid off my job in October. This happened in October 11th of 2005. I remember that because that's the same day my grandmother had a massive stroke. And so she passed away December the 10th of that year. And in January of 06 is when I had the car accident. But yeah, my hand was a hair from amputation.
Wow. So let me ask you this. So when you said, okay, or however you said it, I'm married to you, the Most High, this ring is on my finger. Whenever you said what you said, like, what was the time frame of the accident? So did that happen like a couple of days later, a couple months, years, or?
Yeah, it was maybe like 3 or 4 months later.
Oh, okay. And what exactly did you say again?
I said that I'm married because I would just, I've always just have at that time, I was community organizer. I was working in San Pedro, California. And when I tell you I was a secretary of the neighborhood council, I was on UGA, I was the boards. I was on a board of, it's called Toberman Settlement House in Los Angeles, in San Pedro, California. And it's the oldest community-based program in Los Angeles. And I was in my 20s on a board of retired millionaires. And so I was doing just a lot of community-based program, and just a lot of, what do you call it? What did I say? I was community organizing,
Mm-hmm.
And so that is that I wanted to do the councilman. I just wanted to help, just help. And it has always been in me. And so when I put that ring on my finger, I said, I'm married to you, Father. I'm married to you and my purpose, And so, yeah, that didn't happen. Well, so, that part didn't happen.
Yeah, because it's making me think. So did you say I'm married to you, Father, or did you say I'm married to you, the Most High? Like, what name did you use when you said that?
Well, back then I didn't know any better.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I didn't know any better. So I know I didn't say Most High. So.
You probably said Father.
Yeah. Okay. I probably said.
So y'all, the reason why I'm asking her about this is because so in case you didn't hear, if you're just coming up here, so she's basically saying that she held up her hand and she said, "I'm married to you, Father." Right? She held up her hand as if a ring was on her, on her finger.
And I literally put a ring on there though. I put a ring.
Okay. So she literally put a ring.
I put a ring on there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she put a ring on her finger. And she said, I'm married to you, Father. Now, and of course, at the time, she didn't know. And, that's something that I talk about now with these names. It's either the Most High or it's Yeshua. When you're using these other names, you could be calling on something else because everything out here say, oh, I'm your father. So you're kind of giving these demons permission. So what you're doing is that's forming a covenant. And so what happened is a couple months later, what she's saying is she got in a accident and it almost ripped her entire hand off, right?
That same hand.
Yep, that same exact hand where she placed that ring on. She said it almost ripped off her entire hand.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, y'all, the stuff is real. Now, one more thing I wanted to point out, because something else I remember, if you want to go into it, you want to talk to it. I know you had a lot of different attacks, and I know one of them I remember your foot. I remember it started turning like a dark color or black or something.
Oh wow, yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that because that stuck out. I remember that because I saw the
Yeah,
picture.
when I had moved to Vegas, I thought it was Vegas. So I was like, Vegas so dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my feet just started turning black. You know, yeah, my feet just started turning black, and it was crazy because one day I had went and got a pedicure, and I had just went two places. I went and got the pedicure, and I stopped at two errands and went straight back to my apartment, and my feet was just black. And so I had asked Lynn, I said, "Do your feet be black?" Because I had on sandals and stuff, and she was like, "No, it ain't my feet." Like, I'm like, "Why my feet turning black?" Yeah, right. So yeah, that would happen. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. So that's an attack. Like when you start seeing your skin turning black and those sort of things. So it's a few questions here. Let me see what they are asked. And so someone is saying, does she think the accident was caused by demons?
Well, at the time, I didn't, but I do believe that it was a spiritual warfare. I do now. At the time, I didn't, but I didn't know prophet. I didn't, I was that time I was in church. My faith was very strong, and all I can remember is, going through my recovery. Even when people would walk into the room, I could just have my good hand. I just held it up. Because I just needed to touch spirit, that's all I had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had. I didn't have anyone.
Right.
And so my faith was strong, mm-hmm. And to me, I was connected to the Most High, that He spared my life.
Right. Yeah. So another question someone is asking, does she work now? Can she use her left hand at all? Can you use that hand at all?
So yes, I'm a nanny. I've been a nanny for 15 years now, and no, I have no use of the left hand. It just assists me. But so I have my right hand for overcompensation. Since using one hand for since '06. I have chronic carpal tunnel in my left hand, but since Prophet's praying for it, it's strengthened. I don't even get as many attacks as I used to, because my hand was literally my right hand. So my left hand was the one that was attacked in the accident, was damaged in the accident, but my right hand is gotten weak over the years. But since since Prophet's been praying with me, I don't have that problem anymore. My hand would literally go out on me to where I couldn't even take care of myself. So I would literally have to rest. So now, yes, I do work. I'm a nanny, but I'm transitioning out of that soon, hopefully, to be a motivational speaker and a life coach.
Okay, all right. And let's see, are there any more questions? I think I saw. Okay, so when I started talking about the word father, and I was saying I think that they may have formed some type of covenant. So someone is asking, so does that mean the covenant was broken once the situation happened with her hand? She went through deliverance, so yeah, I definitely believe that that was broken. Yeah, I definitely believe that was definitely broken.
But I just want them to understand is that unfortunately I still get a lot of texts, mm-hmm. And it's a daily thing, it's a daily walk, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm learning still, from Prophet. I lost my job today, and it is what it is. I got to move forward. I can't look back.
Yeah, something I tell people all the time. So we have certain individuals that are here, and you have larger assignments, but unfortunately, with those larger assignments, it's going to carry attacks. You have a target on you as well. So yeah, so we just have to keep fasting and keep praying, but that's how it goes. And then and she's also what I would call a star seed. So, and I know that a lot of the star seeds, they go through these type of things and different attacks. But there will come a point in time when it will slow down. Now, can I say, will the attacks ever stop? Well, we know how that is because Satan will always be coming at you, you know, and especially if you gifted, he's just gonna just keep coming, you know. But yeah.
But just know that everything happens for. I just learned that everything I've learned. You know, even with the situation with my job, like a friend of mine was supposed to come over on Sunday, Father's Day, and it didn't happen. But it wasn't meant for him to happen because I was led to do something, and had he been here, it wouldn't have happened. And so I'm happy that he didn't come because I was led to go and do something. And so, you know, just know that it's not happening. A lot of things that may seem negative, because I don't believe in negativity. I don't believe in failure. I believe in choices. Life is about choices. And we just learn to make better choices, right? And I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I just choose to go downhill. I mean, just go with the flow of life and just create. Life is about solutions. And so that's what I learned. And more so, you know, working with Prophet Thomas. And I'm so grateful to him. Words cannot express. I really, truly, you know, understand and overstand his work. And so I'm constantly praying for him and his family. And his staff and anyone that's linked to him, because I can only imagine what I'm going through, what he's going through. I can only imagine. I know he doesn't tell him he don't have to, but whenever he comes to spirit, you know, into my mind and my heart, I just pray for him, especially when I know he's getting on a plane or whatever. So I'm so grateful because it takes courage. And to me, courage is moving forward in spite of the fear. And so I'm so grateful to him. And so I just want to share my story, you know, more so about, you know, dealing with him and how he has impacted my life for the better.
All right, and I want to ask you something else because I know some people, when I bring this up, it's like, what? But haven't you had times when you've had dreams when maybe you seen yourself eating or drinking? Have you had those type?
Yeah. So I've learned. So before I met Prophet, what is the incubus? Is the incubus the male?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, the incubus will attack the females, and the succubus will attack the males.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would have dreams of having sex in my dreams. I can actually feel the penetration. I mean, if we want to be frank about it, we all grown here. Orgasms, eating in my dreams, all that. I had no idea what that stuff was. I know I didn't like it. I'm celibate, and I didn't like it. And so when I met him, he informed me about it. And so since he started praying for me, those things stopped. Now when I don't eat in my dreams anymore. I'm able to stop it. You know, if I can't tell you how I do it, I'm just able to do it now. So, so it does happen, and when it does, I think it's happened maybe one time. I think I ate a little bit of something or whatever, but I can tell him about it and we'll pray. So now I have put it in my budget to at least at the end of the month, right before my fast, we have a prayer. And so that helps strengthen me to go through my fast better.
So somebody is asking about the orgasm part. So they're saying, was this a actual orgasm like in the dream, or was this like, did this happen in real life? Like,
no, this was actually in my dream. Like I was actually having sex with somebody in my dream. I can never see their face, but it was actually that. And so once Prophet started praying over me and letting me know what it was, then those dreams stopped.
So yeah, y'all, this stuff is, I say it all the time, y'all know this is my favorite saying, this stuff is real.
Remember about the marine spirit, the blue stuff that was on me, Prophet?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so in my house, I was getting this blue stuff, which was coming from anywhere. We didn't know where it was coming from. And just recently, Prophet, I don't know if you saw my list for our prayer tonight, but I just recently saw some more blue stuff for me. So that was just, we didn't know what the heck it was coming from. It was just, and he said it was the marine spirit. And at that time, I was having a lot of dreams about water. And so I remember one time I had a dream I was driving in somebody's car, but the car was full of water. It didn't make no sense. Well, I was like in the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom in the dream, and I was jumping over puddles of water, or I fell into the puddle of water and stuff like that. So once he started praying with me, I stopped having those types of dreams as well.
So when you're in your dreams, y'all, and you're eating, even though it appears to look like food, it's not food. These are actual body parts of the demonic spirits, but it'll look like food. The same thing when you're drinking liquid. That's like poison that's coming in your system. And the sex stuff is real. I've worked with some ladies, and they've actually had what we call spiritual pregnancies, when the demon have actually had them pregnant. And I have pictures of this, of when I was praying and destroying this seed that was in her stomach. So yeah, as wild as this stuff sounds, it's real. So someone has a question, they're asking, so what is a star seed? Because I said that she was a star seed. So we so first of all, we never die, y'all. So we transition. So all this is a shell that we're in, and we reincarnate. So most people, they reincarnate on Earth. So you come back on Earth. You could be a male, female, animal, blade of grass, tree, because everything is living. Okay, but then you have what we call the star seeds. These are the highly evolved ones, almost like hybrid spiritual beings, or the ones that you will call earth angels. And one trait that I see in all of us is that your life is a challenge. Your life is a challenge. But the star seeds are just basically sent here just to help to raise the vibration, and to help assist others, and the star seeds just have different gifts. Now, these demons, they know that, and they know that, okay, this being is evolved, this being has these gifts. So again, they place that target on you, and that's why, it's a challenge when you're coming in.
It is. And I can say, I used to help this guy. He's a homeless guy. And he always said, you ain't from here. I said, what you mean? He said, I just know you ain't from here. Mm-hmm. He would tell me that. And I had an experience just recently because I'm moving. And I would walk. I went to the U-Haul store. This is like 2 days ago. I went to the U-Haul store, and I was going to change my reservation, right? So the lady in the U-Haul was behind the counter. She was just being so. I mean, her energy was just mean spiritual. I was like, okay, so I'm not. And Prophet told me about my anger, and I'm doing very well, Prophet. I ain't respond, I ain't react. I just be calm, cool, and collected. I'm like, she was just being so mean to me. I was like, what the heck? And so I just walked away, and I was going to talk to you about it. Then the next lady that came up, then I can hear her as I'm walking out the door. She was being so nice to her. I said, in the world. And so I walked back in the store. I said, I gotta hear this. Mm-hmm. And she was just being so mean to me. And so I went back, looked like I was looking at a box or something. She was so pleasant to the lady. But when I was standing in front of her, it was straight mean.
Yeah. And I've seen that a lot. I had someone else. It's pretty much like a setup. They'll they'll have this person to start acting like that, and of course that'll kind of trigger you. And see, once a person gets angry, that opens up a door to allow these demonic spirits to come in, to manipulate you, to control you. So just remember that. I didn't understand that, but way back when I started doing what I was doing, the angels would talk to me, and they would tell me like, okay, with your, because me, I would be okay until I was disrespected. Then that's when I would kind of flip off, and it was like, no, we got to help you. You have to work on this. And when you are talking, don't raise your voice. So the way I got trained, every time I was in a conversation and I raised my voice, I felt like I was about to faint. And they was doing this, and I learned how to keep my voice low. So now that's why I talk the way I talk, and I tell people, you still can talk and get your point across without hollering, without getting upset, because it's all a setup. And that's what they want to do. Try to get you upset or place someone in your path that can cause this anger in you, because that'll open up a door and allow them to come in. And allow them to do what they want to do. So
it's a doorway.
Yeah. So I believe that's all the questions. I'm just looking just to make sure, but someone is saying that your story sounds similar to hers.
Wow.
What else we have? Yeah, I believe that's all we have. So, all right. Well, Miss LB, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story and your testimony.
Yeah, and, it's worth it. It's worth it. If I can help anybody, overstand the spiritual realm, then it's more than worth it. Thank you for having me, Prophet.
Oh, okay. All right. You have a great night.
I will. You too. Bye for now.
Okay. All right, y'all. So you heard it. That's why I say people are out here going through it, and it's just because of simple things you don't know. So just imagine if you're basically saying, feel like you're being married to the Most High. You say, you're placing a ring on your hand and you're talking, but you're calling out the wrong name and you don't know it. And these demons come attack and try to take that hand. But I'm telling you, they are ruthless. That's what they do. They don't care about babies, animals, birds, squirrels, cats. I mean, nothing. They come after everything. So you have to know how to fight and to stand strong and protect yourself, because running, that makes it worse. All right? Because your fear is what feeds them. And I have to tell people this all the time. Fear feeds the demons. It feeds them. So you have to stand up to it. Because running, like I said, it just builds up and it gets stronger. Yep, steal, kill, destroy. That is right. You say you have to pray hard because you're ready to launch a grenade. Yeah, I was praying one day and I just started, all types of stuff started coming out of my mouth. I can't even repeat it. The angel was like, we can't pray like that. No, we can't pray like that. You start praying like that and acting like that, then you acting just like how they act. But when they coming at you so much, you get tired of it. But that's the thing. We get tired, we get sleepy. They don't. Just imagine that you have a job, and your job is, and you never get tired, and your job is torment this person 24/7 non-stop. And that's what they do. Yeah. And people would tell me stuff. They would say, well, I don't understand. They would say, why is it that in the daytime it's okay, but at night, why is it so bad? And I have to constantly explain because, at night, you're winding down, you're in your bed, you're trying to get comfortable. And now, that's the time they're coming. Especially when you're trying to doze off. Yeah. I remember I got attacked one time because I was, again, all of the cases are so bad and extreme. But this one particular case, the lady I was helping, they were stopping her from sleeping. And they started attacking me. I was up for 2 days. And the reason why I was up is because I could not shut my eyes long enough to go to sleep. I don't know what it was, like something was keeping my eyes open. So this is gonna be funny, y'all. I got so desperate and I was so sleepy. I was trying to find a way to sleep with my eyes open. I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but let me try to sleep with my eyes open. I was trying everything, but it didn't work. When you're trying to get that sleep and you're tired, you'll try to do anything. But it didn't work. So yeah, I was up like 2 nights straight because of that. So when I would work with the people and remove what I have to remove it off of them, and whatever is attacking them, then it comes and it attacks me. And then, I got staph, and that's like right now why they sit in the background and they never really speak, because, they'll start coming at them. Everything gets crazy. So just imagine you trying to sleep with your eyes wide open. I was like, you know what? It ain't nothing I can do, but I'm tired. I mean, eyes wide open and I'm just sitting there laying there. I was trying to do anything. I said, well, let me just imagine that everything is black. Maybe I can fall asleep that way. Ain't nothing worked. Nothing worked at all. So, yeah, this stuff is, it's no joke. So that's why I throw the hammer at them as hard as I can when I pray. As hard as I can. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. After I finish these deliverance sessions with y'all, I come out of here and I look like a wounded deer when I'm walking out of here because it drains the life out of me. But, it's like I got to get them back. Then I have to go home and have to get myself together. But, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. You have your team that's helping you out, and they go through attacks too. So everybody that's in the circle that's helping, everybody goes through it. Yeah, that is how it is. That is how it is. But you say 2 days of no sleep. Oh yeah, well I know that because I know most women. I know y'all got to get y'all sleep. I know how that go. Got to take them naps. Got to take, and I'm one. I don't even really like to do a lot of sleeping, but those days, I was wore out, trying my hardest. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember the old cartoon with Tom and Jerry. I felt like I was laying in the bed with toothpicks in my eyes. Y'all remember that that episode with Tom and Jerry? And he had a toothpick, and it had his eyelids. His eyelids was open. He couldn't close his eyelids, but that's how I felt. That is how I felt. So my son sleep with his eyes open. Both of my children have the gift. I pray your strength back. Prophet, agree with your strength. Oh yeah. I wish y'all had known them back then, because I'd have asked them how y'all do it. Teach me. Teach me how to sleep with my eyes open. Teach me how to sleep with my eyes open. You say you literally thought of toothpicks holding your eyes. Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like. Oh, they sleep with their eyes open. I'm gonna tell y'all though that it's just like that sleepwalking. I had a family member when I was younger. I didn't know what was going on, but I'm like a light sleeper. And I'm sleeping, and I just kept hearing something go back and forth, back and forth. So this was like 2 a.m. So I came out of my room and kind of eased around the corner, and I was like, what is this that I keep hearing? So I'm looking, and man, I see one of my family members, and she's walking in the kitchen, and eyes wide open. She's walking to the kitchen, and right before she hits the counter, she stops, she turns around, she walks the other way, and I sat here and watched this. I'm telling you, now that right there, especially me being younger, seeing that creeped me out because I couldn't understand. I said, how is she asleep with her eyes open with no expression on her face? So I just kind of went and I grabbed her and led her up the steps. She never spoke. She never said anything. Led her up the steps and led her back to the bed. But I'm telling you, for you to wake up in the middle of the night and see somebody sleepwalking like that, yeah, that was different for me. That was different. You say if someone needs your help, who do we contact? I pinned my website at the top. So you can go to the website, or you can email THEWOKEPROPHET@gmail.com. Yeah. And that's how I can and that's how you can contact me. You can reach out. That is how you can reach out. A lot of stuff going on. Like I said, a lot of stuff to cover. Another thing we'll be talking about, not tonight, but we'll also be talking about altars too, y'all, because a lot of people are out here making altars and they have no clue what they are doing. And altars can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You can't just take a table and start throwing stuff up there. It doesn't work like that. Like I had someone, they had their altar was mixed with an ancestral altar too. It was just too much stuff, so you need to know what you're doing when you start dealing with altars and people just putting different stuff on these altars. So, all right, y'all. I think that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. And tomorrow is Saturday, so we'll be at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Saturday. So you can come on and it'll be Q&A. So whatever questions you got, we can talk about it tomorrow. And again, if you want to come on to True Tales and Testimonies and you want to share your story, just send me an email. And so that way I can go ahead and get you plugged into one of these dates. And you can come on and share your story. Yeah, you can share your story. If you were doing, let me see, if you were doing stuff listening to voices, I think it was the most high and high vibrational, but later to find out it was lust, spiritual spouse, and evil spirits tricking and manipulating me to do stuff. I'm booking another session. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've been doing that. You definitely want to book a session. And I'm going to tell y'all, I had someone, she sent me some videos, some audios, and I'm gonna let y'all at some point. I'm gonna let you hear that, and it's wild because what's happening is every time she tries to record or do stuff with her phone, the demon is talking over the phone, and so you can hear this demon. It's like he's speaking in another language. And she has about 4 to 5 videos, and you can hear this thing talking. And I'm talking about you can hear it clearly. So you can hear it clearly. See y'all later. All right, y'all. So, like I said, a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover. Like I said, it's probably about 20 spots or less left. So if you know anyone that's interested, tell them come over to kick.com, follow the Woke Prophet. Because after those spots are filled, it'll be the $4.99 subscription fee. So y'all have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adios, amigos and amigas.